not hide your face from me in the day of my distress. Yeah. Incline your ear to me in the day when I call. Answer me quickly. Yeah. I simply want to speak from a simple subject as the Spirit may guide with your prayers. Lord, come see about me. Amen. Lord, come see about me. The human condition is an interesting experience, to say the least. In our beginning stages of life, when we were babies in our infancies, even though we could not verbally express it ourselves, it was our outstretched arms that sent the message to our parents and guardians that we wanted someone to come see about us. But something happens strange, my brothers and sisters. For those same babies that cannot talk, those same babies that cannot walk, those same babies that cannot take care of themselves, provide for themselves, and do for themselves, something really strange happens in the human experience. For as they begin to move out of early childhood into adolescence, and out of adolescence into their teenage years, they begin to think that their parents and their guardians are ignorant and idiots. But at the same time, in their teenage years, they see themselves as informed and intelligent. And when many people find themselves in their teenage years, they have no desire for help. They have no desire for guidance because they think that they have the world all figured out. They don't want their parents' guidance. They don't want their counsel or advice. They think they don't want it, but in one day down the road, they will need it. I want to suggest to you, church, that even individuals that are incarcerated in the penal system, they want people to come see about them because their house and their residency is a house built out of stone, steel, and barbed wire. The same person that has done the crime now must do the time. But as time passes by, as days turns to week, and week turns to months, and months turn into years, they want somebody, yes, those same hardened criminals want someone to come and see about them. I want to tell you, church, that even as we matriculate down through life and its various experiences and its many events and its many various episodes, when our health begins to fade and wane, we want someone to come see about us. We want the nurse practitioner to come see about us. We want the doctor to come see about us. We want a trained and skilled nurse to come and see about us. We want the pastor to come and see about us. Every now and again, we find ourselves in stages and events in life where we want people to come and see about us. But what I have learned down through my life is even though we have this desire for people to come and see about us, we will all ultimately come to a stage and a place and a station in our life where anybody just won't do. There won't be a situation where the preacher can come just and see about you. It won't do. The nurse won't be able to come and see about you and it's satisfied. Your friends and your family, your co-workers and your neighbors might come and see about you, but it will not be able to satisfy you. Yeah. Because we get to a place in life when we learn of God, when we mature in God, that we have this place within our spiritual bodies that is exclusive and exclusively made for God. And so as a consequence of the things that we try to place in that place, it will not satisfy us. It's not that we do not appreciate the people coming to see about us, but God has placed eternity in our hearts. And so therefore, there is a place and a space in all of our lives that only God can fill. And as a consequence of that place and that space being a place that only God can fill, then we're going Supremes used to sing this song called Boy, Come and See About Me. But I want to suggest to you that when life begins to happen, or when the scenes of life begin to unravel, when the up is now down, when friends are not around, and when friends cannot be found, we're not going to want the preacher, we're not going to want the deacons, we're not going to want husband, we're not going to want friends, we're not going to want degrees, but what we're going to desire more than anything in life is for the Lord to come see about us. We see here that this text shows us that there will come a time where all we are going to desire is the Lord. All that we're going to want is that right relationship with God. It's not going to be like that song, that Supreme song, but it's going to be more like that song that Lee Williams sung when he said, Lord, come and see about me. We're going to need people to come and see about us when the physician and the specialist cannot diagnose our problem. It's in that day and in that time that we're going to need not a deliverer, but we're going to need the deliverer. Because what we have to understand is so many times we allow people to occupy a space and occupy a title that does not belong to them. Every now and again, God has to put us in a situation where we see clearly that it's all about Him and all about what He does in our life. If we're going to get out of the situation that we are in, it's not going to be the pastor, it's not going to be the deacon, it's not going to be the mother, it's not going to be the choir, it's not going to be the body, but it's going to be God that brings us out of the muck and the miry clay. There will be times, if you live long enough, brothers and sisters, that when we're going to need the Lord to come see about us, when the surgeon cannot fix within us that thing that is broke, we're going to need not a Savior, but we're going to need the Savior, because there is only one that is able to save our souls. There's only one that is only able to make us whole. You just keep on living. I know that you're sitting up talking about and thinking about how strong you are and how strong you think you are and how smart you think you are, but keep on living. Talk to some of the sages and talk to some of the elders and talk to them about how strong they used to be and how they used to stay up all night and do all types of things. But as they begin to get some years on their minds and get some years on their body and get a little further down the road, they recognize that the things that they used to do, the things that they used to get away with, they could not do it anymore. Their health began to fail. Their health began to fail. They just not wasn't the same people that they used to be, and they realized that they needed a deliverer. They recognized that they needed the Savior to come and see about them. We have to see also that if you live long enough, you're going to need the provider. Because when the bank won't give you another dime, or when these quick cash places have closed up the doors, you're going to need someone that will provide for you. Let's live a little longer. Get a little further down the road when your money gets, or your change gets strained and your dollars going to make you holler. I come to tell you, you're going to need a provider. There's some times in life, if you keep living children of God, that there will be people inside of your family, outside of your family, that don't want to be bothered with you, don't understand you, and it is times and seasons of your life like that where you're going to need a friend that's sticking close than a brother. I've come to tell you that there were some people that said that they would never leave you and never forsake you, that they will always be around. But guess what? When the up came down, they could not be found. And I believe that all of us have had some people to tell you that I'm 10 toes down with you. But when the that if we live through the various episodes of life, we will learn clearly that we didn't get to where we were by ourselves. That we did not get there because we had a good mama and a good dad. We didn't get there because we had a good husband or a good wife. We did not get to where we were in the stages of life because of our degrees, but we got where we were and accomplished what we did because we had a God that would come and see about us. Such is the case in this text before us. Such is the case in this pericope before us. We learn in this sacred literature that this psalmist had a God that would come see about him. We learn in this text that there is no exclusive or conclusive evidence as to what occasioned this psalm. We do know that this person in this stage and season in his life is going through a tough time. But all of us, church, go through tough times. But what I want to suggest to you, church, that this person suggests, and the language of this person's voice suggests that he's in the situation that he's in because of some personal sin. I want to suggest to you that one of the mistakes that we make in the church today is that so many times when bad things begin to happen in our lives, the first thing that we want to talk about is what the devil did and what the enemy did. But every now and again, as mature saints, we have to get to a point in our life where we will say that it was me, Lord, that I did that I trespassed against you, that it was my action, that it was my deeds that have brought me to this situation that I'm in. And what I have learned about the God that we serve, if we will come clean, if we will come correct and tell them that it was me, Lord, and it is me, Lord, standing in the need of prayer, that it is me, Lord, that needs a breakthrough, that it is me, Lord, that needs a miracle. I have learned in my life that if we will come correct and if we will come clean to God about our mess and our slip-ups, then God will come and see about us. We have to see here that this man, this psalmist, this unidentified psalmist, is coming